Hello there. We're going to go through a few quick features, give you a 2 minutes or less, a 5 minutes or less walkthrough of what we do, and help you work through how to use Augmend to help solve your team's problems with knowledge capture. So right now, we're on the main page. This is what you get after you log in. You've got a way to start a workspace and start a recording, or you can go and watch a replay of recordings that you've already had. Think about this as kind of your previous videos and knowledge that you've been captured. All of this is searchable up here. Just ask a question and you'll find what you want. Let's walk through a quick recording. Let's do this. All right, once you hop into a workspace, if you want to talk and have that be recorded, or have your video be recorded as part of the screen, you hit join call, pick your mic and video device, and here you are. Hello. Everything you're saying is being transcribed at this point. You don't have to use transcription if you just like to record actions, but this is the easiest way to capture the right context for you to walk through a tutorial, walk through a workflow, share something with your team. Let's pretend that I'm doing a feature walkthrough, for example. If I want to actually go and share what I'd like to share my screen, share items in my screen, I don't have to share my entire screen. I can just download the client right there, start to share out the applications that I want to share with my team when I send them this recording. Let's say that I want to use my Visual Studio to talk through some code, bring that into the space. This is your shared workspace right here that you're recording. Let's bring in maybe the feature I change also touches AWS. So I'm going to talk through the AWS console by bringing in my browser too. This is all resizable, so you can bring this in. You can kind of decide how you want to show this to people. And everything we have here is being recorded. Lastly, I might say, oh, I actually do need to bring my terminal in too. So let's bring in my command prompt so I can show what commands I'm running there. Let's put this down here. Okay, so as I work in any of those applications, it's being completely recorded, replayable later for anyone else in the team, along with what I'm saying. That makes so that I can kind of walk through some steps, have that be captured, and eventually we can actually produce a document out of that too. If you want to produce a standard operating procedure or workflow, or just show someone a code walkthrough that's going to be part of your team knowledge base. So in this case, I'm going to talk through a little bit of a keyword search. I just added this feature. This sits alongside of our semantic search. And let's say I explain how it works. One of the things is that you have these collections in Amazon OpenSearch on AWS that you're also hitting whenever you start to store this data. Pretend I explained everything else here too. We'll skip ahead though. And I'll say there's a couple commands we run every time we want to deploy. Maybe I have to do AWS login, and then I have to run a few other things. But everything I do is kind of captured here. As I'm describing this, there is a replay that's being built. So let's jump to that. We're going to do a little bit of the pre-baking thing. Let's see. All right, so let's jump to a recording. Let's say that I already did that walkthrough. I can jump to a recording here. These are all the different replays that I have access to. This might be mine. It might be someone else in my team. Once I jump in, we load it up. We can see on the right here is the timeline of everything that's occurred. In this case, I had the Visual Studio code up and I had my browser up. Right here is kind of where I was talking in the video. So we can just start playing that. That'll bring in the conversation of what I was doing. We can jump ahead. We can jump to a point in time where, let's say I had the VS Code up and I was showing something in particular or talking about a particular thing that I want to get to. I can also see the other application here. If I'm looking for a particular piece of information, let's say I was looking to answer a particular question on, I don't know, the index that I was talking about. All you do is type that in. We use natural language to do that. We can get back an answer that'll tell us where was that discussed, even a quick answer from using the large language model. So here we can see that in OpenSearch, Augmend uses screen text and stores it into an OCR index for keyword. These utterances are also stored in a different index and gives us the name for both of these. And if I click on that, it'll jump me to the point in time for when that occurred. And you can see any other potential options for when that might have happened. But this is all the kind of grounded references, so you can know there's a quick answer, but there's also a set of points in time in the replay for where I was discussing that. So you can see exactly what I was saying. You don't have to rely just on the large language model to give you that answer. You can even scan around at that point in time, see all the info. You can see the utterance for what I was discussing. You can see the application. We're right now working on improving this interface a little bit. You can see that there's the utterances a little bit in the way there. If you want to turn that off, you can just go and say, turn off show subtitles for a second and look at the information that you might want where I was describing that piece of code. One of the next things we'll bring in is the ability to copy paste from here too, but that's not quite here yet. Let's see. The other nice thing is that you can produce a document from this. So if you just jumped over here to the left, we can see that there's a full transcript of what I was saying. So this is the full voice transcript. But we can also go and jump to a set of steps. Let's say that was a walkthrough that I'd like to actually turn into a wiki. Or I just want to kind of go see what are the chapters of what occurred and the specific details of what commands I was running, what steps in the workflow happened. We load up those steps. Takes a second right now. It'll come back. And we can see there's markdown, so we can copy paste it, but we can see each of the different steps. We have kind of the explaining keyword search, why we're doing it, showing an example of how we use both chroma and keyword search here, and I talk through this along with a screenshot. And kind of step by step throughout the entire workflow of what I was describing, you get these set of details that I don't have to, as a developer, go and write these up anymore. I can grab these and turn them into a wiki file if I'd like, just grabbing the markdown, copy pasting all the markdown, and making some edits after that if I want to add a little bit more detail. Each of these links go back to a point in time in the replay as well. On top of that, you can just grab a summary. See here, this is what was discussed. If that's all I want, it's just a quick summary of what was happening. Take that, copy paste it as well, or search for a particular piece inside there. Those are the main pieces we have right now. You can see that we have our streaming, record, and replay. Go back in time and watch a full replay if you'd like. Get the auto-generated document of summary and steps, and go through and look at the full transcript. If there's anything else that you'd like, please let us know. Thank you.